Brandon.
Friends, I'm trying to break down this Senate bill in small bite-sized pieces as best I can. The next thing that I want to address is the waiting list for younger people, people under 21. Now, just a real quick side note on that, as many of you probably already know, Senator Dianne Feinstein has already, with her dementia-ridden self, inserted herself in this whole conversation, stating that there needs to be a ban on people under the age of 21 from buying firearms, more notably AR-15s. Of course, she's always had her thing for AR-15s. So she's inserted herself into that. She very well could be the one thing that either derails this Senate bill or forces through, because of her tenure and people who still have a certain amount of respect for her, could force through some kind of actual ban for people under 21 years old. But right now, as it stands, the bill has a 10-day waiting period for anyone who's 21 or under, 18, 19, 20. I'm sorry, it's not fair. You can take all the numbers you want and manipulate them to make your story all you want, like the left and the wackos on the left that are trying to take our guns are doing. I can manipulate statistics to make my argument for guns. You've already seen the statistics that more children have died or died between 2019 and 2020 as a result of guns versus cars for the first time ever. Well, first of all, the numbers in car deaths plummeted over the last several years, whereas the gun-related deaths stayed the same. Now, things they dump into that number are suicides and, of course, accidental and, more importantly, gang-related. Gang-related in children, yes, because they pad their numbers by adding people who are 18 and 19 years old, but they allow 18s and 19s to be thrown into those statistics because they're technically adolescents. They're teenagers. Those are the numbers that's padding the numbers. That's where the majority of your gang activity is. What our real problem is gang activity and suicides. Those are the two biggest numbers that are affecting young people as they relate to gun-related deaths. But nobody's talking about that, because what does that do? That moves accountability into other areas that nobody really wants to take. The parenting side of it, oh no. If we somehow or another make it a parent's responsibility to do something about their kids, we can't do that, because our government has worked so hard to break our families apart and to have single parent households. They've worked their butts off on that. They're not about to reverse that, and they have worked on that. You can make more money as a single parent that's unemployed than you can as a single parent who actually has a job. God forbid you have two parents and they both work. And as long as we're throwing gang-related numbers of 18 and 19-year-old kids in all these inner cities and back roads out there in these gang-related functions and activities, shooting at each other and killing each other, as long as we do that, yet law enforcement and the federal government and local government and nobody does anything about that, and they just let it go because, oh, that's just gangs being gangs, you can't correct that number. You cannot correct that. And by throwing that into all these other numbers that are getting people's attention, like school shootings, look, let me tell you something. None of these 18 to 19-year-olds who are padding all of these numbers right here, none of them have any connection whatsoever to school shootings. Oh, were some of them accidentally put into school shootings or purposely put into school shootings? Yeah, they were. You know why? Because they drove by a school at 3 a.m. in the morning shooting at other gang members, and that got logged as a school shooting. If you were to include actual people who walked onto school property for the sole intention and purpose of killing children, numbers are really small. Numbers are minute. Am I saying they're okay? No. I'm saying you're lying about your numbers, is what I'm saying. Young adults nowadays are having kids at so much earlier ages now too. So you've got a 19 or 20-year-old who gets his girlfriend pregnant. Mom doesn't like the daughter. Her dad doesn't like you. So you get forced out. You got no place to go. So you go live in one of these low-income apartments like I lived in. But now the federal government is mandating that you, as an adult with a child on the way, cannot have a firearm, cannot purchase a firearm, and specifically can't purchase it. So you don't have a parent to give you one because they're not going to, they're mad at you. Your friends are in the same boat as you. You can't go buy one, so what do? I'm not saying it's okay to steal one, and I'm not suggesting that, but you're probably going to buy one because your family means more to you than any BS law or stupidness going on out there handed down by rich people in these castles on hills in Washington, D.C. Yes, your family and your baby on the way and your future baby mama, they mean way more to you than any idiot out there making laws who's never been in the position you're in. So you're going to go down the road and you're going to buy a gun out of somebody's trunk that could be, maybe, possibly is stolen, more than likely. So you just open yourself up to a future felony because you bought a stolen firearm, and you bought a firearm, period, because you're not supposed to purchase one. This government continues to take a dump on young people. The poorer people in this country are the ones who always get a dump taken on them. And you people need to rise up. I hear all the time with mouthy young people, well, we need to vote. Obviously, the anti-gun side is mouthy enough about taking guns away. You people who are on the pro-gun side, or at least even on the fence, but you want to retain your rights, you should be the ones that are vocal. I'm speaking for you, but you need to speak for yourself. It's time to speak out for your own rights. Be vocal and tell this government to stop stripping your constitutional rights from you.
Let's go, Brandon.